Hello everyone and welcome back to the good old days when the Mini came out, the Austin Mini, the Maurice Mini and other companies that made this glorious little beast here that you are seeing. Look at it, it's an absolute cutie and beauty at the same time. It's extremely practical, it's very beautiful, and it's a very fun car to drive. Well, according to the people that drove it and according to Top Gear, the Grand Tour, and many other people that drove this amazing little legendary car. I love the original Mini so much, and I love the not so modern one. I mean, let's say for example 2008, 9, 10. I love those models so much because the new one, the latest one, is very big and fat and overpowered, and yeah, it's not really the original essence, the original soul of the Mini, gone for a long, it's gone for a long for a very long time. But the original one will always be my all-time favorite tiny car. It's an amazing car to own and to drive and, well, to live with, because it's an absolute amazing car. So in this video, my friends, we'll be talking about that, and as I'm going to show you the replicas that I made for the original Mini and another great model that I love from other PC games, and because I drove one in real life. I think 5 years ago when I got my license, my friend bought one. He's actually a friend to the family. He bought one and it was absolutely beautiful, and I drove it. Not the original one, of course, the one that I'm going to talk about in a minute, not this one. But this one I love it because, of course, it was featured in some of the amazing games, and of course in the legendary TV show Mr. Bean. Not in this color, of course, the legendary lime green and the black bonnet. I made another version, I think, of Mr. Bean's Mini in the past, but this one is completely original. I'm not kidding. This thing is absolutely original in every single way. The gearbox, the engine, the rims, the tires, the brakes. The brakes, well, I'm not really sure about the front brakes, but yeah. But everything else, like the tires, the engine, the gearbox, the body, a lot of the features are absolutely identical to the original Mini. This Mini is the 1969 model with the 998cc engine. Yes, my friends, they call it, what is it, the BMC-A model, the 998cc model. It came, this engine came, according to Wikipedia. Let's see. Okay, so here we go. From 1964 all the way to 1969, Austin and Maurice Mini Cooper with 55 horsepower and 57 pound-feet of torque. This engine is an absolute tiny beautiful engine. That's the maximum that I could zoom in. So there is the engine, and it's in all of its glory, as you can see. 998cc inline 4 engine, cast iron overhead cam. It's an absolute beauty, running absolutely amazingly with the original 4-speed manual gearbox, with the original 3.72. That's the final drive ratio. I've been reading so much about the classic Mini on the Mini forums, and a lot of people are talking about what kind of gearbox to use, what kind of experience they are getting with replacing the suspension, putting better brakes, putting bigger engines. All of these things are on the Mini forums, which was absolutely extremely helpful, making this truly amazing legendary car. Alright, let's get on with it then. So as you can see, this is the Road Atlanta circuit. Now let's see how this thing will perform. Now look at this. We have this dyno graph here, which we can absolutely look at the real-time torque and power of the engine, which will be absolutely amazing. So as you can see, look at this. The horsepower goes all the way to 50, but the original engine is making, what is it? The original engine is making 55 horsepower. So there is a negative 5 horsepower. I noticed that on all of the cars that I made from Automation Game on this, using this app, which you can find in the apps in BeamNG.drive. I noticed a little bit of the horsepower lost on every single car that I made. Even the cars that you have made in the challenges, I've noticed some of the horsepower to be lost, and I think because the horsepower that we are getting in Automation Game is just for the flywheel horsepower, the engine alone horsepower. But in BeamNG.drive, this is the horsepower, the wheel horsepower, or the horsepower on the wheels. After the horsepower goes through the gearbox, through the differential and into the wheels, that's the wheel horsepower. which is absolutely epic. Alright, let's get on with it. Listen to that tiny beautiful beast. Look at those beautiful fixtures on the car, Mini Cooper, and look at those taillights, the fuel filler cap. I mean, it's amazing thing. Unfortunately, the rims or the wheels are not 100% original, because on Google Photos or Google Pictures there are tons of different rims. I didn't know what to use, so I've chosen these. So let's get on with it and see how it'll perform. As you can see, acceleration is really good. It's not bad at all. This car is very it's like a tiny puppy. And again, I'm not sure about the brakes. I went with solid discs up front, drums rear. Maybe it will be all drums. I really don't know. So I would love to know that in the comments. What kind of original brakes the Mini got in 1969. Now, yes, of course, the fourth gear, it's like an overdrive. So yes, it can get up to speed even more, but you will not expect to see a huge amount of speed. It's a tiny puppy car to enjoy on your daily driving and to have fun with it on every single corner. Alright. I think I should have tested it on the handling course, not on this track. This track is too big for it. I feel like driving a Mini on the Nürburgring. It's gonna take forever. But so far so good, right? I mean, 50 horsepower, and this car, this replica that I made, weighs in automation game 550 kilograms. That's extremely light. 550 kilograms. I'm not really sure about the original Mini weight. You know, what's the total weight? So as you can see, it's uphill a little bit. That's why we are losing speed. Oh, look at the gap between the gears. Shifting down from fourth to third, there was a huge gearbox gap. Of course, no ABS, so I need to be careful not blocking the tires. Alright, coming up to the finish. It's really fun. It's not, I'm not you know, pushing it to its limits. I mean, the corners are very normal, but so far so good, right? Alright, so we are approaching the finish, and here we go. Look what we have here. Yep, my friends, this is another replica of the modern Mini, not the super modern Mini, you know, 2018 model. Of course not. This is a replica from the 2010 model, the Mini Cooper S version. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, it looks a little bit ugly and not really super replica to the, or super original, because this body that I found on the Steam Workshop, this is a modded body. I didn't make the body myself. No, I'm gonna write the name of the person who made it here. So yeah, this is a replicated body, which unfortunately looks really big, really fat. It's not like the original 2010 model. I love the 2010 model because it's still a tiny car. It's still a beautiful, super cute Mini, you know, with modern lights, modern taillights, and so on. But this body is just big. I mean, it's fat in every way. The front bumper is really different from the original Mini, from the, you know, the 2010 model. But I tried really hard to replicate all the like, I mean, the closest, to get it to the closest bit to the 2010 model. You know, like the exhaust, the rear grille, the like, for example, the roof spoiler, the door handle, the side mirrors. I tried with whatever I have in automation game. Look at those headlights. Yes, they are functional. Indicators, of course, there and there on the black trims over there. So I tried really hard to make it as close as possible to the 2010 model. Even the engine, it was a bit of a challenge to make, to be honest with you. So the engine manufacturer is BMW/PSA. turbocharged petrol, of course. The engine code or the engine name is the N18B16M0. It's the straight 4 engine, 1.6 liter, 1598 cc engine. Let's see, what is it? 4 valves per cylinder, double overhead camshaft, 181 horsepower, and 192 pound-feet of torque. 10.5 to 1 compression ratio and EFI. So I made the original engine. I've chosen the original gearbox from the specs from 2008, which is manual 6-speed with 3.72, I think, the final drive. We have the 16-inch rims, the original ones, 195 front and rear tires, same as the 2010 model. I mean, I went all out with the specs. I don't know. It's up to you, my friend, to judge this thing. Let me show it to you in yellow. So it's up to you, my friend, to judge it. I tried really hard to replicate it. I mean, yes, it looks absolutely hideous. I think not like the original one, but I tried hard, and I will leave it to you to judge it in the comment section. Do you like it? Do you prefer the original one? I mean, personally, I prefer the original one because it's much more cuter. It's much more desirable. But to live with, I would rather go with the 2010. I mean, to go on the weekends and drive, I prefer the classic one, but to own and to go to work, to the supermarkets and so on, yes, the 2010 model will be a blast with 180 horsepower. Alright, so let's fire it up and test it. 3, 2, 1. So acceleration is, of course, much better because, well, it's more horsepower, turbocharged, modern, and look at the speed. Actually, to be honest with you, when I first saw the tire sizes or the tire width, which is 195 front and rear, I was a bit, shocked because in automation game that gave this car so much understeer. So I had to tune the suspension according to the original Mini, like the camber, the sway bars, the ride height. It's all original, the same numbers from 2010, and it worked out perfectly. This thing is an absolute fun to drive, although it looks a little bit hideous, especially from the rear. But yeah, I tried hard, and unfortunately that's the only body for this Mini. And I'm really thankful. I mean, my biggest thanks to the person who made this body, because he made this video possible, to replicate the Mini. But yeah, it's up to you to judge if you like it, if you don't like it. This car, if you don't like this car or not. I mean, but it's I've chosen everything: the grille, the exhaust, the tail lights, the front light, everything. So the speed is actually very decent. This thing weighs only 1,100 kilograms in automation game, which is not bad. It's actually light. The taillights are a little bit different because I couldn't find the original ones. Very good. This thing is an absolute fun to drive with all of its power and like everything. The tires are working perfectly, the brakes are working absolutely amazing. Everything is looking very decent on this car, like on paper, but it's up to you to judge the looks of it. I'm somehow happy with the looks of it. It doesn't look 100% real. It looks like a replica. A real replica, like if someone has described the Mini on the phone to someone and then he made it. That's how it looks. But I'm happy with what I got, and I really wish in the future maybe the person who designed this body, maybe he will upgrade it with much more realistic looks, or maybe automation game will add a real Mini body, which will be very awesome to do and very awesome to try. But again, I prefer the original one because, well, look at it. Look at this beauty. So tell me what you think about those cars in the comment section below. Do you like them? Which one would you prefer to drive and to own? Which one would you like? The original one from 1969, or which model? If not the 69, maybe the 67, the 65. Which one would you actually would you actually like to own? And if you have one in real life, I would really love to know what kind of experience you have with it. Is it nice to drive? Is it rubbish to drive? I would love to know that. If you have the classic one or the modern one or even the super modern one, 2018 model. Thank you so much guys for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it. So if you want to get this Mini, the original one or that over there, if you want to get this one or that over there to drive it in your BeamNG Drive, the link in the description below for my Patreon page. You can download it, you can have fun with it, and by downloading it you will be of course supporting the channel and supporting the next video, which I will be more than thankful for, and I will be thanking you of course in the next video if you do that. So thank you so much guys for watching. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up, get subscribed, share the video if you want to share it, and of course don't forget to leave your thoughts about these cars in the comment section below. So thank you so much guys for watching, and goodbye for now, my friends.